This conference is an important example of how to improve the care of patients with rare disease. A key aspect of that is bringing communities together.
Days like this is where you expand your network and you learn new things and you learn new colleagues too, with whom you can collaborate.
One voice doesn't get heard, but a multitude of voices do get heard. We can work together to bring a better landscape for the families and the people that we care about.
The Rare Disease Clinical Trial Network is a group of researchers, clinicians, scientists, patients, charities, their families, who are interested in bringing more rare disease trials to rare disease patients living in Ireland. So the idea is that trials, so research onto treatments of some kind, which could be medications, or it could be a therapy like a behavioural therapy or physiotherapy of some kind, can be investigated and it can be established whether these are a benefit or not for patients. And that's really important because we know that if you're going to a hospital or participating in a trial, that the care for patients is better than for hospitals where such trials are not conducted. It's really important for clinical care for people living with rare disease that we have more trials available for them locally. The Rare Disease Trial Network came about because the Health Research Board in Ireland was looking to fund rare disease and already had some clinical trial networks and supported this initiative. It's hosted by University College Dublin and it is supported by Health Research Charities Ireland. And we're really excited about that collaboration because that actually brings us really into the field of having patient and public involvement in research from the very beginning.
My experience is that patients with rare disease love that idea of working with scientists, clinician researchers, as well as their clinical team to try and push everything further. That's an opportunity.
It's a step forward in bringing clinical trials for rare diseases to Ireland and building a network of people who can help with that as well. And that's vitally important for people living with epidermolysis bullosa, who we as Endeavour Ireland represent, because they're small numbers, such small numbers, and even within EB we've got such small subtypes that it's very difficult to find enough people to take part in a clinical trial. So by having this network to try and entice clinical trials to Ireland will have a big impact on people that we represent.
And I do think that collaboration is key, and I think this is why a conference like this is so important, that we get together and meet different aspects, backgrounds, stakeholders. Collaboration is key because then we can develop a global research infrastructure of investigators that can stimulate and coordinate research efforts. I think it is difficult on your own, even though I'm head of the Center for Rare Lung Diseases. Denmark is a small country with less than 6 million inhabitants. Now I'm covering 1.8, so my number of patients are few, and it's difficult sometimes to develop your ideas and to make the trials come true. So having a good international network where you can discuss your ideas, get good recommendations and also good ideas, exchange ideas and how to solve challenges can make research move much better forward.
So today is the 29th of February, which obviously only drops once every 4 years. So it's Rare Disease Day. And we've decided to hold our Rare Disease Clinical Trials Conference here in the Grand Hotel in Malahide to mark that it is Rare Disease Day today.
The day so far has been excellent, but I also found it very inspiring. So for me, being here today and listening to the comments made, you know, I genuinely felt valued as a patient. I felt that like there was an interest in hearing my perspective on it. But what's very important is you feel as though there's a great interest in looking after the patient's welfare.
So working as an early career researcher in rare diseases, I actually work in endocrinology and I'm currently training in that. And through my clinical practice, I interact with a lot of people living with rare diseases. And I find this a very interesting area and something that I'd like to develop further in my training. And it's also an opportunity to learn from them about their experiences and to use that in my clinical practice. It's important that we have events like this today to bring people that are working in different parts of the country and indeed internationally together to share their experience and their expertise.
We know if I went around this room, over 90% of you in this room would have a personal connection to a rare disease, and that's why you're in the room. Maybe it's a relative, maybe it's a patient you met, maybe it's someone who you just kind of bonded with, and that's why you stayed in rare disease. There is a lot of a personal connection, and there's a lot of soul and heart. Even this morning over coffee, I heard someone say, we do it just because it's important and it's what we do.
On our own, one voice or one group of voices for a rare disease might not have as much, I'll not say power is a strong word, but together I think the voices can do so much more, and we can fight for those that we care about, we can fight for the conditions that we care about, but we can do that together.
So for us, collaborating with patients means integrating basic science and clinical practice. So every patient that comes for a diagnosis or for treatment is considered in terms of the contribution that that interaction will give towards our combined understanding. I think of it as translation in real time. This is a tremendously exciting time to be working in rare disease research because the advances in basic research and their application to clinical trial support and conduct it's amazing, actually.
So we should not ignore the fact that as we try to identify new therapies that we want to test in the context of rare diseases, that industry is a wonderful partner. Industry can help us with drug access. They can help us with funding as well. And we should think about that, whether they're developing a new drug and we want to test that in a new setting, or whether we want to expand the indication for an existing drug.
So it's really exciting to work in rare disease at the moment. There's political interest in it. The families and the patients are so good at advocating for themselves and their needs. It's really rewarding to work with them. They're so enthusiastic about anything we come to them with. We've got a great group of people to work with. And internationally, people are interested in reaching out to Irish researchers and saying, join us in a collaboration, join us in a grant application, join us in trying to get a therapy for this rare disease patient group. It's really great to be involved at this time.